Some TV, the pulse of the nation. Some TV, the pulse of the nation.
When a tanker bearing fuel falls or an underground pipe bearing fuel bursts, what do? Scooping fuel in your bucket or running far away from impending fire? You have a few seconds to take the wisest decision. Walk away? No, that is not enough. Shift? No, that is not enough. Stay there and gist and take shots with your phone? That is madness. Run. Yes, run away. Yes, your life depends on your action. The flames come suddenly, unexpected but uncontrollable. Why? Fuel is highly inflammable. Why? It just requires a spark to set off a ravaging inferno. So, don't stay there to think. Storm away to live. Do not throw away your life in anguish for meaningless fuel siphoning. Be advised.
Are you stuck in Jalingo late at night? Need a safe and reliable ride fast? Introducing Supercab, Jalingo's trusted ride-hailing service from anywhere in the city. We will pick you up right at your doorstep. Book a ride in seconds. Safe, fast and affordable. Visit www.supercab.com.ng or download the Supercab app today. Supercab, your ride, your way.
Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system. Announcer, FSRCC.
Are you stuck in Jalingo late at night? Need a safe and reliable ride fast? Introducing Supercab, Jalingo's trusted ride-hailing service from anywhere in the city. We will pick you up right at your doorstep. Book a ride in seconds. Safe, fast and affordable. Visit www.supercab.com.ng or download the Supercab app today. Supercab, your ride, your way.
Good afternoon and welcome to Business Daily on Some TV, the pulse of the nation. Your trusted source for in-depth analysis, market trends, and key drivers shaping Nigerian economic landscape. I'm Teresa Ayuba, and here are some of the headlines for today. Nigerian stock market wrap all shares index falls 0.77%. Some Nigerian states may miss out on telecom investments due to hostile policies out on. RCRC issues new PPP guidelines to boost infrastructure development. Now the news in full. The Nigerian All Share Index snapped its 11 weeks winning streak, closing in the red after shading 1.126 points to finish at 144,628.20. This represents a 0.77% decline despite a rise in trading activity. Trading volume increased to 8.5 billion shares from 7.7 billion shares in the previous week. Market capitalization fell to 91.50 trillion naira from 92.20 trillion naira. Top gainers, Mutual Benefit Assurance PLC scored 31.85%, Triple G and Company PLC gained 30.23%, Sanu Assurance Nigerian PLC up 23.80% to 6.19. Top losers, UPDC PLC shade 17.72%, Living Trust Mortgage Bank PLC dropped 16.00%. Beggar Patient PLC down 14.67% to 32.00 naira. Sector performances, NGX Insurance Index impressed 8.21% gain, driven by double-digit advance in over 6 insurance stock. NGX Oil and Gas Index dipped 1.42% following decline in Oando, Selpet, and Aredel. NGX Consumer Goods Index falls 0.94%. NGX Industrial Goods Index shades 0.83%. NGX Banking Index closed negativity, down 0.23%. The all-share index appears to be in the early phase of pullback, which could depend in bearish sentiment carries into the next trading week. The Association of Lines Telecommunication Operators of Nigeria, ALTON, has warned that certain states in the country might be excluded from telecom investment and improved connectivity due to their unfavorable policies. ALTON Chairman Engineer Benga Adebayo stated that states with hostile conditions for telecom operation risks begin left behind as a digital landscape rapidly evolves. Unfriendly regulation and excessive levies imposed by the state government may deter telecom investment. Delays and challenges in obtaining right-of-way permits can hinder telecom infrastructure development. Uncooperative state-level policy can limit connectivity. Slow broadband rollout and reduced access to digital services. Limited investment in telecom infrastructure can result in slower internet speeds. Reduced investment can also mean fewer job opportunities linked to the telecom sector. Citizens may have limited access to digital services, hindering economic growth and development. Despite these challenges, the telecom industry is experiencing strong growth, with investment reaching levels not seen since before the COVID-19 pandemic. ALTON praises ongoing reform by the federal government, particularly efforts to tackle multiple taxation, and welcome the inauguration of the new NCC board. Nigeria's headline inflation rate has declined for the fourth consecutive month, dropping to 21.88% in July 2025 from 22.22% in June. According to the Center for the Promotion of Private Enterprise CPPE, this downward trend is attributed to a stabilizing microeconomic environment supported by relative exchange rate claim, improves investor state segment, and the impact of import duty waves on essential staples. Decreased to 21.88% in July 2024, down from 22.22% in June. Month-on-month food inflation easing from 3.25% to 3.12%, posted a margin year-on-year decline to 0.03%, while month-on-month core inflation dropped sharply from 3.46% to 0.97%. Persistence of food price pressure and monthly inflation spikes pose challenges for policy makers. Economic continual exposure to supply side shocks and structural insufficiencies. Month-on-month headlines inflation rose from 1.68% in June to 1.99% in July. Policy recommendation includes sustaining claim in the FX market to anchor inflation expectation, tackling a high logistic cost insecurity, climate-related disruption, and port inefficiencies, ensuring prudent government spending and managing liquidity injection to avoid stocking inflation, exploring creative liquidity management tools beyond conviction tightening measures. Dr. Mauda Yusuf, Director/CEO of CPPE, emphasized the need for coordinated monetary, fiscal, and structural reforms to consolidate recent gains and address lingering inflation pressure. The Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission (ICRC) has unveiled new guidelines for public-private partners (PPPs) in Nigeria, aimed at accelerating project delivery and attracting private sector investment. The new framework decentralizes approval powers to ministers, departments, and agency (MDAs), empowering them to fast-track projects while ensuring strict compliance and accountability. Key highlights for the new guidelines: MDAs now have greater approval authority, with the ICRC retaining oversight to ensure compliance. Can only approve projects below 20 billion naira without Federal Executive Council (FEC) clearance. Can handle projects below 10 billion naira, established within MDAs to vet and approve eligible projects. Subject to ICRC certification, all PPP projects must be fully financed by the private sector with no federal treasury guarantee or commitment. Impact on infrastructure development: unlocking private investment, decentralizing approval for tightening compliance check is expected to unlock billions in private investment. The new guidelines aims to strengthen Nigerian position as a leading destination for transformation infrastructure projects in Africa. The ICRC Director General Dr. Jobson Osedion Ewalufe emphasized that the new guideline will facilitate faster project delivery while ensuring accountability and transparency. The move is part of the government's efforts to address Nigeria's significant infrastructure gap and promote economic growth. Nigeria's regulatory environment has come under fire from Otunba Dele Oya, former president of the Nigerian Association of Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture. Speaking on the coffee table with Ogudere, Oye described the current regulatory framework as ridiculous and accused agencies like Federal Competition and Consumers Protection Commission, FCCPC, and the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, of turning into fundraising machine instead of business enablers. Companies are not just fined, but are raided, shut down, and even forced to pay the cost of their rights. Investors are fleeing to neighboring countries with clearer rules and cheaper finance businesses. We're taking a brief commercial break. When we return, Business Daily continues.
When a tanker bearing fuel falls or an underground pipe bearing fuel bursts, what do you do? Scooping fuel in your bucket or running far away from impending fire? You have a few seconds to take the wisest decision. Walk away? No, that is not enough. Shift? No, that is not enough. Stay there and gist and take shots with your phone? That is madness. Run. Yes, run away. Yes, your life depends on your action. The flames come suddenly, unexpected but uncontrollable. Why? Fuel is highly inflammable. Why? It just requires a spark to set off a ravaging inferno. So, don't stay there to think. Storm away to live. Do not throw away your life in anguish for meaningless fuel siphoning. Be advised.
Are you stuck in Jalingo late at night? Need a safe and reliable ride fast? Introducing Supercab, Jalingo's trusted ride-hailing service from anywhere in the city. We will pick you up right at your doorstep. Book a ride in seconds. Safe, fast and affordable. Visit www.supercab.com.ng or download the Supercab app today. Supercab, your ride, your way.
Welcome back. The Federal Inland Revenue Service (FIRS) has emphasized that electronic invoicing (e-invoicing) will significantly reduce the need for tax audit, promoting voluntary compliance and increasing revenue collection. According to Tayo Koleosu, Chief of Staff to the FIRS Executive Chairman, e-invoicing is an innovative approach that minimizes adults, which can be disrupted to businesses. E-invoicing encourages taxpayers to comply voluntarily, reducing the need for audits and increasing revenue collection. The adoption of e-invoicing aligns with the global best practice in tax administration, enhancing transparency and efficiency. FIRS has implemented robust security measures, including vetting and assessment by the National Information Technology Development Agency. To ensure data protection and confidentiality, over 1,000 large taxpayers have been integrated into the e-invoicing platform since its rollout on August 1, 2025. FIRS has granted a 3-month extension of onboarding and transmission with a new deadline of November 1, 2025. 16 companies have been certified as service providers to support the adoption and implementation of e-invoicing. E-invoicing is expected to minimize audit, reducing the burden on businesses and enhance tax compliances. By promoting voluntary compliance and reduce tax evasion, e-invoicing aims to increase revenue collection and boost economic growth. The e-invoicing system automates invoicing processing, minimize manual errors, and increase overall efficiency. Nigerian rebars gross domestic product (GDP) has shed light on the country's growing non-oil sector, showcasing its significant contribution to the economy. The non-oil sector now accounts for over 96% of country GDP, with service, agriculture, and manufacturing play major roles. The non-oil sector has become the backbone of Nigeria's economy, driven by gain in crop production, telecommunication, trade, and construction. Real estate has overtaken oil and gas to become the third largest contributors to GDP, accounting for 10.78% of output. 37 sector recorded growth in Q1 2025, with notable performances in metal ores 25%, financial service 15.3%, transportation 14.1%, and ICT 7.4%. Despite the growth, 9 sectors contracted include coal mining minus 22.3%, livestock minus 16.7%, and textile minus 1.63%. The robust GDP figures indicate Nigeria's effort to diversify its economic beyond oil dependence are taking shape. The growing non-oil sector presents opportunities for investment and job creation. Experts warn that the dominance of non-oil sector has not translated into proportionate government revenue, exposing structural weakness. Expert insight: Finance Minister Wale Edun, the robust GDP provide a clearer lens to view Nigeria's economic performance and will inform target policy making. Economist Michael Fremority: the robust market Nigerian GDP about 30% larger than previous estimate, lowering its debt to GDP ratio from 52% to about 40%. Policy analyst Chioma Agweobo: while there's room for optimism in ICT, real estate, and finance, agriculture and manufacturing are lagging, and this sector remain underperforming. Growth will be even and fragile. The Central Bank for Promotion of Private Enterprise (CPPE) has cautioned the federal government to take the recent drop in inflation figures with caution optimism. According to the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS), Nigerian inflation rate dropped to 21.88% in July, making a fourth-month decline. Key concerns: month-on-month headline inflation rose from 1.68% in June to 1.99% in July, indicating persistent pressure on prices. Year-on-year food inflation increased from 21.97% to 22.74%, highlighting ongoing challenges in the food sector. Supply-side shocks: the CPPE notes that these movements underscore the economic vulnerability to supply-side shocks. Recommendation: sustain reform. The CPPE calls for sustained reform to maintain claim in the forex market and anchor inflation expectation. Addressing constraint: the think tank emphasized the need to address high logistics and import costs, insecurity, climate risks, and port insufficiencies that drove up costs and sustained inflation. Prudent governments: the CPPE advocates for prudent governance, spreading and effective management of liquidity injections to prevent fueling inflationary pressures. Monetary innovations: the central suggests exploring creative measures to manage liquidity in economic, given the high landing rate above 30% for most businesses. Outlook: caution optimism. The CPPE believes that July 2025 inflation report provide a basis for caution optimism, with progress made in monitoring high headline and core inflation. Coordinated intervention: the think tank emphasized the need for a coordinated mix of monetary, fiscal, and structural intervention to consolidate recent gains and steer the economic towards sustained stability. The United Bank of Africa (UBA) has secured a $5 billion loan facility from the Bank of Industry (BOI) to support the growth of sustainable and valuable business in Nigeria, with a primary focus on micro, small, and medium enterprise (MCMEs) owned by women. This initiative is designed to stimulate key sectors of the economy, including green energy, education, healthcare, and women-owned enterprise. 9% interest rate with a 3-year tenure, making it an attractive option for business looking to expand and thrive. 5 million naira per obligor, providing substantial funding for eligible businesses. A 3-month moratorium allows businesses to stabilize before beginning loans repayment. UBA's commitment to empower women enterprises. UBA aims to strengthen financial inclusion and set Nigerians on path of sustainable development through this initiative. Targeted sector, the bank is targeting green energy, education, healthcare, and women-owned enterprise, which are critical to Nigerian sustainable development. UBA has worked closely with stakeholders to ensure the terms are business-friendly, making it easier for entrepreneurs to access funding. Eligible businesses, especially women-owned enterprise, are encouraged to visit any UBA branch or the bank official website to begin the application process. This initiative is a great opportunity for businesses to access affordable funding, expand operation, and contribute meaningful to the economy. I am Teresa Ayuba. See you tomorrow on Som TV.
Are you stuck in Jalingo late at night? Need a safe and reliable ride fast? Introducing Supercab, Jalingo's trusted ride-hailing service from anywhere in the city. We will pick you up right at your doorstep. Book a ride in seconds. Safe, fast, and affordable. Visit www.supercab.com.ng or download the Supercab app today. Supercab, your ride, your way.